Hi, I'm Tiffany Oshinsky.
And I'm Kat Bell.
And this is Serving Pancakes with League One Volleyball. The inaugural Love season is finally here. Each episode will be going over the matches from the week to keep you up to date on everything League One Volleyball. Then stick around after the analysis for interviews with some amazing people in and around the sport. Today's episode features two outside hitters from LOVB Omaha, Jaali Winters and Madi Kubik-Banks. But before we get to the interview, the first ever LOVB Classic was this weekend. Held in Kansas City, Missouri in conjunction with the Triple Crown NIT, one of the biggest club tournaments in junior volleyball, the LOVB Classic gave junior club athletes and their families a taste of what's possible for their volleyball careers as they were able to watch all 6 LOVB Pro teams compete in a 3-day tournament, with the winning team getting $100,000. My lovely and hilarious co-host Kat Bell was on the scene in KC, not just as a player for LOVB Austin, but also as a boots-on-the-ground reporter. Kat had a chance to talk to a bunch of players from all the teams before the tournament started, including Houston's Maddie Kingdon-Richel, Salt Lake's Tori Dixon, Austin's Zoe Jarvis, and so many more, and here's what they had to say.
Coming in for the scoop is Maddie Kingdon-Richel. Wow. How do you feel about being in Kansas City out here to support and play volleyball in front of all these fans coming out to see you?
I'm excited. I think there's a big volleyball community here with the tournament, Triple Crown, and I'm excited to show these young girls what professional volleyball looks like.
I'm so excited actually to be here. I never played in this tournament when I was younger, but it seems very cool and very high level, and I'm just excited for all these young girls to come watch everyone play because everyone here is so amazing.
It's been so great so far. Easy travel day, ready to get to work, get some training in.
It's so cool. This is a beautiful city, and I love that all the teams are here and we're with all the youth players too. It's such a cool experience.
So little tea if you can.
I love tea.
What is something that Houston's going to do going into the quarterfinals versus Madison?
Kill everyone. After traveling today, getting touches in this gym and serving pass is gonna be huge for us. But going aggressive and letting it rip, I think will be our #1 priority.
So Salt Lake is our competition going to the quarterfinals. So can you give me a little bit of insight how we're gonna beat y'all?
Listen, first of all, you ain't beating us. Second of all, I ain't telling you nothing. No game plan, nothing.
You can tell me everything.
No, honestly, I would just say we just want to focus on being our best. All of us doing our thing, focusing on and controlling our side of the net.
What's some of our game plan going into the match to beat our friends?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
I'm on your team. I'm the same team. Anything for the fans?
H-Town, hold it down. That's all I got to say.
Scream for us, cheer loud for us, and thank you for all your support. It means the world to us.
Shout out Salt Lake, love you guys, and we're about to beat this girl for you.
See you guys.
There was a ton of support during the LOVB Classic, so thank you to all who came out. Now let's recap what all went down this weekend. On Friday, LOVB Atlanta and Omaha got to watch the competition from the sidelines as they enjoyed a first-round bye thanks to ranking 1st and 2nd respectively in the LOVB standings. In the first quarterfinals match, LOVB Houston swept LOVB Madison out of the tournament 25-20, 25-23, 25-18. Setter Kaisa Alanko was named player of the match. Her 28 assists helped with Houston's 42 kills, accounting for a 304 attack efficiency, the 2nd highest this season for Houston.
Honestly, with these kind of teammates, it was so easy to play. I was nervous getting in the game, but I knew that they will help me, and look at this awesome team, really.
And in the other quarterfinals match, LOVB Austin knocked out LOVB Salt Lake in 4 sets, 26-24, 25-14, 19-25, 25-22. Outside, Logan Eggleston led Austin with 20 points thanks to 17 kills, an ace, and 2 blocks, and was named player of the match.
I think our setters just run a really good offense. Our middles are super active, and so they give me a lot of space to work with at the net.
Saturday's semifinal saw 2 4-set matches. The first was Houston defeating LOVB Omaha 25-20, 17-25, 25-18, 25-21, with Jordan Thompson being named the player of the match with 25 kills on 48 attacks.
Merzik's pass is good. And Jordan Thompson makes it so smooth.
And LOVB Atlanta beat LOVB Austin 25-15, 22-25, 25-23, 25-20. Middle Tia Jimerson, a name we've called out previously on the pod, finished with 11 kills, 2 blocks, and 2 aces to earn her her first Player of the Match honors.
Unbelievable. Tia Jemerson, block again, kill.
And lastly, Sunday night's winner-take-all finals between Houston and Atlanta was the all-out, dominant professional volleyball you love to watch, with the girls from Texas taking home the inaugural LOVB Classic crown and $100,000 for their team. Houston ended Atlanta's 7-match win streak, beating them in 4 sets, 25-23, 25-27, 25-20, and the hard-fought 29-27 final victory. Houston's team had 5 players with 1 or more kills, including Amber Igidi, who had 13 kills on 22 swings, as well as 3 blocks, 6 digs, and an ace, and was named Player of the Match.
Gia Day shut down. Igidi is taking it personally.
Along with Amber, Jordan Thompson, Jess Merzick, Grace Froling, and Maddie Rischel all hit in the double digits. Quite the performance for this Houston offense. And there was also a spectacular display of defense by both sides. Houston finished with 77 digs, with 4 players reaching the double digits, including outside hitter Jess Merzick with 17. And Atlanta did their best to fend off Houston's strong attack, tallying 76 digs of their own, including 19 from Kelsey Cook and 14 from their libero, Pianut Pnoy. The game ultimately ended on an Atlanta overpass after a dominant jump serve by, who else? Micah Hancock. That was tapped down by Jordan Thompson at the net.
Good serve, and it's trouble. Oh, wow. Houston wins the championship, the League One Volleyball Classic, and the $100,000 cash prize.
So congrats to Houston on their win. And after a long weekend, a LOVB Classic all-tournament team was announced. We got for outside hitter, Austin's Logan Eggleston. Libero was Atlanta's Pianut Pnoy. Setter was Houston's Micah Hancock. Middle blocker, Houston's Amber Igidi. And opposite hitter, Houston's Jordan Thompson, who was also named the tournament's MVP. Well, we hope you enjoyed watching all the ball this weekend. We're only halfway through the inaugural LOVB season, so there's still plenty more women's professional volleyball to come. Up next on Serving Pancakes, we have LOVB Omaha's Jaali Winters and Madi Kubik-Banks on to talk about their volleyball journeys, the camaraderie on their team and in the league, their pets, and so much more. Stay tuned. We are back with LOVB Omaha outside hitters Madi Kubik-Banks and Jaali Winters. Originally from West Des Moines, Iowa, Madi is an All-American from the University of Nebraska. She's been recognized for her on-court performance by being named National Freshman of the Year and to the NCAA Championship All-Tournament team. She's also been recognized off the court as a Big Ten Distinguished Scholar. Madi has also played professionally overseas in Puerto Rico and Italy. Also from Iowa is Jaali Winters. She's a 4-time All-American from Creighton University where, get this, she remains the program's most decorated athlete ever. She is the first player in the past 20 years to be named 2-time Big East Championship MVP and held over 80 Blue Jay volleyball records entering the 2024 NCAA season. She made her U.S. national team debut at the 2024 Pan American Cup, where she helped the U.S. claim silver, and she's played professionally in Spain, Greece, and France. Madi, Jaali, welcome to Serving Pancakes.
Thank you. Hello. Thanks for having us.
So excited to have you ladies here. And I see, for those who are watching on YouTube, you had some kitty cats, Jaali. Can you tell me about your cats real quick in case they come back?
Yes, I have 2 kitties. Let me see if I can get Stormy over here. This is Stormy. She's the newest member of the fam. She was actually my sister's cat first, and then I somehow ended up with her. And then Mr. Yummy is a senior cat. I got him in September or October, I want to say. He's 13 years old, but he looks like a little kitten. So he's not very amused with like anything unless it's food related. So yeah, he's a pretty simple guy. He doesn't really like Stormy so far, so we're trying to make that friendship happen still.
He's new to the family. It'll happen.
Yeah.
What made you want to adopt a senior cat?
I knew I didn't want a kitten. Like, I just didn't have time to be an actual, like, parent to a kitten, and they just need so much attention and all that. And I needed a cat who was pretty independent. And I don't know, it wasn't even on my mind to get a senior cat, but I saw a photo of him on, it's called Muddy Paws Rescue in Gretna, Nebraska. And his photo, it was like, swiping on Tinder, and I just matched with this perfect cat. He was just the cutest little thing. And I was like, I have to have that one, and he just happened to be 13 years old. So, yeah, pretty happy with him.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much, but I will say, I had asked, I was like, can I please, I just need a cat that can eat dry food, so I can leave it some dry food when I'm on away trips and don't have to worry about him.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was no problem. Yeah, the cats, they all eat dry food. I've tried him on 5 different dry foods. He throws them all up.
Oh, no.
So, that part's a little bit of a bummer. But I love him so much now, he's never getting returned. So, it is what it is.
Maybe someone who's listening can offer you some advice on some good dry food.
Yeah, please. I will take all advice.
And Maddie, you said that you have 2 dogs that might appear, right?
Yes, I have 2 dogs, Maverick and May. They actually have the same birthday, so they just turned 3 and 4, but they're over there napping.
And who is the parent of who?
So my now husband and I got Maverick when we were in college. He's a mini Australian Shepherd, and he mated with Brant's parents' standard poodle. So we have an Aussie Doodle who is the baby of Maverick.
Oh my gosh!
So she's a bit bigger than him because her mom's a big standard poodle, but they're both, they're cute.
Oh my gosh, look at all these animals, puppies. We're going to turn this into an animal pet podcast pretty soon, I think, because we're loving the dogs, loving the cats.
Love it.
Speaking of birthdays, Maddie, your birthday was like over a month ago, right?
Yes, January 8th was my birthday.
Did you do anything fun?
I turned 24, so we were about to have our first home match, or away match. It was in Houston, which was nice because that's where my husband's family's from. But the team was so great. They did like a whole streamers and birthday hats and celebration at practice, and I brought a Krispy Kreme like little mini donuts, so those were definitely a hit. But birthdays are a big deal on our team.
They really are. We go all out.
Why? What do you guys do?
We just celebrate them all out. We have, cards and streamers or something that makes that person feel special or a sweet treat.
And birthday hats.
And birthday hats. Yeah.
And then you got to also have as a birthday present your first game ever in Love.
Yeah, right. And it was so cool that it was in Houston too. So just getting a chance to like see family, and especially in our first match was really cool.
What was that first match like for you guys? Because you have both played internationally, so now you're here in the States. So what was that like?
For me, I wasn't thinking about it so heavily of like, oh, I'm playing in the United States again. It just felt like playing another game. I think more than anything, it was like getting to play with so many players who are like so highly esteemed, and just kind of dealing with the pressure of that and like how good everyone really is and what that level is like. And I don't know, I feel like once we got on the court, it was just kind of like, oh, we've been doing this every day at practice. Like it's just another day and we get a chance to play really, really good volleyball, and it went well for us.
Yeah, I think just like Jaali said, I feel like I've looked up to a lot of the players in our league, both teammates and opponents, for a lot of my career. So just that moment of getting to play against them or be teammates with them is really cool. And also just like how excited the fans are. And obviously we have a lot of people that are from the state, play college volleyball in this state, and we know how important that is for Nebraska people. So I think that's just really cool to see them rally around our team and support us.
Speaking of amazing players in the league on your team, I feel like one of the most well-known Nebraska players and players in the U.S. is Jordan Larson. When you guys found out that you were going to be on her team, what kind of went through your minds?
Whoa. Super whoa. Super crazy. Because, I think we'd all signed. I signed before we knew Jordan was on the team, or that was. We knew they were kind of like hoping that they would get her, but it wasn't set in stone at all. So it was a huge, like, shocker, wow, super cool, like, let's learn from the best type of feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think every single day in the gym, I feel like we have an opportunity to just approach the game in a different mindset or in a different way of training that we had never done before. And she's definitely been kind of an instrumental part in that. And I've just always really looked up to her, obviously her playing at Nebraska, and that she was kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Nebraska. So that's kind of cool to see that full circle moment.
When you guys got to the team for your first practice, was everyone pretty chill, or was it kind of nerve-wracking for you guys to sort of be on the same court?
I'd say it was pretty chill. Like, I mean, we have like 4 Olympians on our team, and like I think they make it really chill for us because they're so normal. And sometimes I'm like, this is crazy. Like, whoa, like in my head, like this is crazy. But I think after week 1, it really just has to be like, nope, that's just Jordan, just hanging out with Jordan at the gym today. And it can't be, this is Jordan Larson, or I'll like psych myself out and get aced 5 times. So we just can't think about it.
It's so true. I feel like the first couple days it was like Jaali said, we were all kind of like settling in, and Jordan was still kind of helping with the Huskers, so she wasn't around us a ton yet, like just the day to day all the time as everyone else was. But I think those moments when you're like, oh, they're a normal person, they shank balls, they make mistakes, whatever, just really normalized the experience and just made it like, oh, we're all just trying to get better and trying to figure it out, and maybe we have different experience levels, but that just made it really cool.
Now, you guys both grew up in Iowa. You guys actually grew up only 26 miles apart. Did you know each other at all?
Yeah. Maddie, you want to tell them how we know each other?
Yeah, so Jaali has a younger sister, actually, Ari, who is my exact same age. So we have played club volleyball together since we were like 13, 14 years old. So Jaali was always just like a little bit out of reach, I guess, because like when we were in freshman in high school, she had just become a freshman at Creighton. And so we never actually crossed paths, but we kind of played for like rival high schools. So yeah, we played Centennial, which is the high school that Jaali went to, and Ari, her sister, at the state championship multiple years in a row. So our families have known each other for a while.
So how did you two end up becoming very good friends after playing with Ari for so long?
Since, I think, being on the team.
Yeah.
From just this team or from previously?
No, this team.
This is the first time we've ever actually been teammates. Yeah, it was really more of just family friends first, and now it's like, whoa, like Maddie's not just like my little sister's friend anymore. She's like my friend now. I took her.
It was really special last weekend because Ari was able to travel to come to our match, and we played in Atlanta. And also like another friend of all of ours, Riley. And so just to see that and like have that whole like Jaali's sister, but she's my friend, and also now we're all friends. It was just very cute.
Go full circle.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, whoa, everyone's grown-ups now.
Yeah.
And Maddie, you have other sisters too who play, right?
Yes, I'm the oldest of 4. So my 3 younger sisters all play. One's at Tennessee, Aiden, and then the other 2 are 14 and 16 in high school.
So for you guys being the older siblings, did you inspire your younger siblings to play the sport?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like they were gym rats. Like they got drugged to every tournament, everywhere, all the time.
I can see that happening. How did you guys get into volleyball?
My mom made me go out for volleyball. Her and her best friend Kim, they were like, no, she needs to do this volleyball thing. And I was in like 4th grade, and I was like, no. And then I don't know, I obviously went to it was like our rec league in Ankeny, Iowa type volleyball team. And my coaches their names are Liz and Matt Overton. And they were just the best. Like they really helped me just love playing volleyball. And they took it so seriously, but also made it so fun at the same time. Like you should not be that stressed out in 4th grade about volleyball. But like we were so dialed in. Like nothing else matters more than winning this little tournament in Ames, Iowa or wherever. So yeah, never looked back.
Amazing. What about you, Maddie?
I started playing in 3rd grade. My mom played in college at Missouri State, and she was my YMCA coach. And I played soccer for a long time too and really liked soccer, but eventually the club schedule just kind of takes over, and I feel like a lot of young athletes have to choose one sport.
Basketball I played pretty much all through high school. But I always liked volleyball just a little bit more, I'd say. And when it really came down to it, when I had to like finally kind of decide what I wanted to do in college, I realized that I really hate running. And that just wasn't the path for me. I needed to choose the sport with less running. So that was what I did.
Yeah, I find that to be a very common thread. I feel like out of the girls I keep interviewing, it's like they were either former gymnasts or they hated running or they didn't like the contact of basketball, but it's kind of like those same things. I'm like,
I will say I do miss the contact of basketball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's why I throw myself on the floor so much in volleyball. It's because I just like miss pounding in the post, like being a center. So that's
yeah, right. Your exertion levels are not thanking you for that.
Myself on the floor.
I played middle school basketball 1 year, 8th grade. I was so terrible. I had like the athleticism, but I would like do things that post players aren't supposed to do. Like I would dribble all the way down the court and go and try and shoot and whatever. And they're like, pass it, like let's run our play. I'm like, no, I can do it on my own. So yeah, I didn't like the contact. So same as kind of the others. I prefer a little more loving touch of your own teammates with people you play, not having to beat up the people you play with.
So a question I like to ask you girls as I've been doing these interviews is kind of like, what was the track for you when you realized that volleyball was going to be your sport, that you really did want to pursue it? What did you do to go from being a good player to a great player?
My mom will tell you I just like really was dialed in. Like I'm just naturally a very driven person. Like if you look back at my old notebooks, I discovered what a hit workout was, like 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. I discovered what that was when I was like 15, and I would like make myself little workouts and I would like do them before school started.
Oh, wow.
And like I would do my extra workouts. We had like a membership at the YMCA. Me and my friend Jordan, we would go to the Y with her dad in some mornings before school started, and just like I just really wanted to like be great. And I don't know, I think when I really love something, I just really just go for it. And I don't know, that's really it. I just love winning.
Who doesn't?
It's so evident in the way that you are, Jaali. It really is. I feel like for me, it was like, as soon as I decided that I only wanted to play volleyball, which was I guess probably 8th grade, I just poured so much time into it. It's like, you're in club season, then you're in high school season, then your summers are with USA and da-da-da-da-da-da year round. And I feel like when you spend so much time dedicating to like learning and growing, then I feel like you kind of inherently have to get better. You would hope, I guess. But I feel like also my parents just really pushed me when I was in high school, and it was kind of like, okay, do your homework so we can go to bed at 9 o'clock because you got to practice tomorrow and da-da-da-da. So they had that structure at home, which I think was a little bit of a learning curve going to college.
I also think like coming from families where your parents were also athletes, it just like is ingrained in you that you need to pick a sport and be good at it. And like for me, it was like, oh, you want to go to college? Oh, that's not in the budget, so you're gonna need to get a scholarship for a sport. So you figure out what one, do that because you have to go to college and we're not paying for it. I was like, okay, great. So this is just what we have to do.
A little sink or swim kind of vibe.
Sink or swim, yep.
Right? I just remember those early like morning Saturdays when I first started playing club. I was just kind of in a local team before I went into like the more national level team, and I just remember those Saturday mornings waking up at like 5 or 6 because we had to drive 2 hours to some tournament to then play all day to then drive the 2 hours back home. And I'm like, that dedication, like for my parents to let me do that and to be the ones to take me to all those tournaments. I'm like, that fire was lit from them.
Yeah, they're the MVPs for that. And like when I was in like middle school, junior high, even into high school, like I was a menace. If we would lose a game at a club tournament, like I would not speak the rest of the day. I was mad at everybody. I didn't want to talk to my mom. I didn't want to eat dinner. Like, and she's over here spending all this money to take us on this nice trip and stay at these hotels and all, you know, just putting in all this time for her whole weekend. And I
just need to win
like, this sucks. Shout out to her for putting up with me.
Do you still have that attitude on the court when you play?
Gosh, I think a little bit less. Like now, if after a loss, I just need like 10 minutes to like do my little cool down stretches and be like a little bit huffy. And then I can be like, okay, we have to separate now. We have to go love our families and like, it's okay.
Do you guys have that like Jekyll and Hyde persona between off the court and on the court?
I'd like to think so. Like, I'd like to think like we're more of like dogs on the court, and like off the court, we're just kind of like, what's up, guys? What are we doing tonight?
Yeah, I feel like it also depends on the match too. Like if it's, I don't know, maybe more of like a rival or kind of like you get into that intense, like point to point, it brings out a different side where you can get a little like crazy eyes, like let's go kind of vibe versus, you know, fun and bubbly or whatever. So I think definitely the match can bring out a different side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Maddie, you got to play with Adriana Fitzmaurice internationally. Now she's on your team. Were there other players that you knew previously that you get to play against now or play with?
Yeah, Fitzy and I played together in Puerto Rico. And then I played with Lauren and Lexi and knew Amber by approximation because of Lauren. Played against Gabby for most of college. Emily Thader, random enough. I actually was born in Kansas City, and my dad's from Springfield, Missouri, which is the same city that she's from. So I would have gone to the same high school as her if we didn't move to Iowa. So I've like known her, like heard of her, and watched her since I was little too. So it just seems like there was a ton of connections actually to this group.
Yeah. What about you, Jaali?
I played against Emily and Conde this past season. They were in Paris when I was on another team in France. Obviously knew Maddie from way back when. Oh, I played against Vicky also. She was in France at the same time I was playing there. Fitzy, she was also in Greece the same time I was in Greece. So a lot of playing against each other.
Now being brought together. When it comes to playing other teams that you like may have played with those girls before or have known them before from off the court type of stuff, like do you have cordial relationships on the court or does it get pretty competitive?
So far it's very cordial and it's really fun to like look across the net and be like, yeah, that was a bad call, like you know, and they'll just laugh. We're like, oh my gosh, like what just happened? Like it's pretty chill.
Yeah, it's true. It seems more like a celebration of our league and of like getting to compete against each other versus like some kind of rivalry. And maybe that's because we're like first time in these teams, or yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a celebration more than like a rivalry.
That's actually a really cool way to look at the league because I feel like even though someone's going to be crowned the champion of the league in April, it is kind of cool that you guys, because you know each other, you know of each other, it is a celebration, like you said, instead of, you know, cutthroat rivalry type of situation.
But at the same time, I hope we get there. I hope we have some cutthroat rivalries in the next couple of years. Do or die.
It's true, but I do feel like there is more encouragement about like women supporting women and not being like, and I think we were kind of talking to Jordan about this. She's like, when we were in college, we did not talk to the other team. We were like, no, we're not talking to them. They're our enemy, da 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 da. And I feel like it's a lot less like that now.
Yeah, especially because it's like probably 100% of the players, if I was on the same team as, you know, Susie Q on whatever team, like we would be best friends.
Right.
So it's just that understanding of like, if you put me on a team with anybody, we would probably end up being best friends just because of the proximity, and like everyone's so cool.
Yeah, it's true.
That's awesome. Now, talking a little bit off the court, I know internationally your schedule can be busy, or sometimes, you know, a lot of the players said it can be kind of lonely sometimes because not everyone's speaking English. So now that you're here in the States, have you been able to find new hobbies or new things to do during your downtime?
Yeah, I went to college in Omaha at Creighton University, so I have gotten to reconnect with a lot of my friends that still live here, a lot of my old teammates that still live here, and it's so weird and so cool to have a life outside of volleyball. I like actually have cats now and like family around, and it's like it's fun to like have some roots and feel a little bit of stability outside of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having our animals, like we kind of full circle back to the beginning of our conversation, but for me, like that is so much of my time that's spent outside of volleyball is either walking them, brushing their hair, doing whatever. And I feel like it does give me like an outlet to pour into and things to like love and care for, because yeah, I think we spend a lot of time at volleyball, but we need things that balance our lives to care for, love, do whatever, etc.
Speaking of caring for and loving, I mean, you just got married over the summer, Maddie. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I saw you got married in Mexico. I want to know why Mexico. I'm half Mexican, so it's super exciting to hear that you went to Quintana Roo, right?
It was in Tulum.
Tulum, okay.
Yes, so we got engaged last July, and I left to go live in Italy to play for the season in August. So for 9 months of our engagement, we were long distance. And so we knew that we wanted to get married this last summer. Or sorry, 2 summers ago is when we got engaged, then the 9 months, then the last summer was our wedding. But we wanted to be able to plan it virtually. And so the easiest way that we could do that was with the destination wedding, because we would get on our Zoom calls with our wedding planner and kind of make our selections from pictures. And we knew that it was already going to be beautiful because of the scenery. So we were like, you know what, this totally fits our personalities. And we get to, you know, go to this fun vacation and bring all our people. And it was just a good fit. We didn't see our wedding venue or our reception space until literally 2-3 days before the wedding. So I feel like if you're like a super type A bride, that's probably not the move. But for us, it was perfect.
I'm also getting married in Mexico. I literally think it's just the best idea ever. I don't know who I'm marrying, but we will be getting married in Mexico. And
Jaali's sister, Ari, got married literally the same weekend in Mexico.
No, Turks and Caicos.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Still a destination wedding in a beautiful location.
Yeah, destination wedding. Way to go.
Oh, that's so funny. We did not do a destination wedding. However, I was not a psycho bride. Our wedding cake was like super late, and I guess the wedding planner wanted it to be on the table so that when people entered the reception, like they would see it. And they're like, the cake isn't here yet. And I'm like, who cares? You don't eat cake till like super late in the wedding.
Right.
Like, what does it matter? And he was like, but it's not going to be there when we open the door. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, right. Well, and it's like you plan so much for then a day that goes like literally that fast, and it's all the details that you were like, I didn't really think about that. Like, you don't know how much it takes to plan a wedding till you actually plan one. And then the actual day of, it's like you wait around, and then it's like boom, 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 and then the day's over.
Yeah,
Crazy.
for sure. So fast.
Yeah.
What does your husband think of you playing here in the States now and this new venture that you're going on?
Yeah, he's really excited. He just finished his MBA at Rice, and so he's training to go try and play in the NFL right now. So we're doing long distance. He's living in Houston doing his training, but it's definitely nice to be on the same time zone.
Very cool. All right. Well, I have one last question that I want to ask you guys. Bring it back to volleyball, especially because I like this idea that Love has, you know, the pro teams, but you guys work a lot with the club teams. So talking about you guys as young players with where you are now, if you could tell your younger self something or give your younger self some advice, what would you want to give?
You're exactly where you need to be. I think as a young girl, as a young player, you like wish you were doing this better, wish that, wish this, wish that as a player, but it's like if you were perfect, you wouldn't even want to play volleyball anymore. Like the reason we play is to get better, so like just be okay with where you're at and keep getting better every day, and don't be so hard on yourself. Have fun. Part of the process and part of the enjoyment is learning and getting better. If I was perfect at volleyball, I would stop playing because what's the point, you know? So yeah, it's all part of the fun, all part of the journey.
I think similar vein to Jaali, just like go for it and be okay with failure and risk. I feel like that's something that I'm still learning and trying to do. But I think when I was younger, I was really afraid to make mistakes, and that was going to be detrimental, and I was going to whatever, the whole spiral that you take yourself on when you make mistakes. But I think, yeah, just to go for it and to just be okay with risk and failure and know that you're growing.
Love that. Well, Jaali, Maddie, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for joining me on Serving Pancakes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Thanks for watching Serving Pancakes. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. You can also listen to the podcast version on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.